Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to Ashland News on 1890 to 1900. My name is Thomas Rice, and to start things off, we'll be discussing about Oklahoma. Now, in Oklahoma, on May 2nd, the Indian Territory was opened up to be settled on. This bottom area is the Indian Territory, and up here is territory you already had. But now we have all this extra land to be settled in. With this, we can now all pack up our bags and move there if you wish. And you can start your own farm, families, it's all fun stuff. Just gotta kick out those idiots. Thank you, and to Katlyn.
Thank you, Tom. My name is Katlyn, and today we're going to be talking about how Louisiana passes a law in 1890 that requires separation of races on railroad cars. It was between Plessy versus Ferguson case, which was how a man who is 1/8 black could pass for white, but essentially could ride in black cars. It was argued that as long as racial facilities were equal, they did not violate the 14th Amendment of equal protection under the law. Having slaves free because it was wrong was supposed to have black people become equal in their citizenship, but they were always different by color. So let's say that a black was tried to court with a white man. The white man would be the one who will always be winning, because we all know that having black as slave is not good, but we still didn't treat them the same as we were supposed to, because we still had that same racism that some people now have. So now let's get back to my friend here. Kevin wants more information about what happened in the late 18s and the early 19s.
Thank you, Katlyn. So, my name's Kevin, if you didn't already know. In 1892, there was a man named Reverend Charles Parkhurst who delivered a sermon blasting the New York police because they supported gambling, prostitution, and saloons through selective enforcement of laws. He was born not far from here, in Framingham, Massachusetts, and he quoted, "While we fight iniquity, they shield and patronize it. While we try to convert criminals, they manufacture them." He was showing how corrupt the police is, while they were pretending to be all dilly-dally, protecting all the citizens, protecting their rights, but really, they're just making more bad guys and prostitutes all happening around the earth, and they're just becoming people who are just more prone to going against the law themselves. The municipal grand jury asked him for hard evidence. They said, "We need to know what's going on because we don't believe you." And Charles Parkhurst hires a private detective and went through the streets to collect evidence for corruption. What he did remained influential on the political front and in organized crime until the 1850s. Now, back to my good friend, Thomas Rice.
Thank you, Kevin. Now on 1894, there was an income tax imposed on any amount of income above $4,000. The income tax was only 2%, but the government's still going to make a lot of money off 2%. This was the first income tax that was imposed during peacetime. The last time an income tax was needed was during post-war. So, what is the government doing with our money? With our money? With our money? Back to Kevin with something from 1898.
Thank you, Tom. In the late 1890s, it was said that there's no longer any Chinese immigration throughout the new islands we've annexed, meaning the Hawaiian ones and the Pacific ones, except if the condition of the law allows it, no Chinese for any reason allowed to enter the United States from the Hawaiian Islands. Now back to Katlyn.
Wow, that was very intense how many were allowed to the Hawaiian Islands. Alright, so going back to the 18th, in the late 1899, Illinois decided to establish the first juvenile court in the country. Children at the age of 7 and older have been prosecuted the same as adults and were sentenced in jail even to death. By 1910, 32 states had established juvenile courts and probation services. They were made to turn delinquents into productive citizens through treatment. Juvenile courts controlled their own intakes instead of having an attorney. Juvenile courts control their own intakes instead of having an attorney select cases for the trial. That's really shocked how little young kids were treated the same as older people.
I agree.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's it for today's big news about the late 18th and early 19th. And we hope that you guys stay tuned for tomorrow because we have new information about Ashland history.
Yes.
So it was really interesting and fun.
And you get to see my really big head. Okay, see you folks.
Bye, guys.